Well, it's that time again for me. I'm defending West Virginia again. RichRod somehow is the worst coach in the league. It's ridiculous, and let's talk about it.
You are Locked On West Virginia, your daily podcast on the West Virginia Mountaineers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What is up? Welcome in, guys. My name is Mountaineer Paul. I am your host here. This is Locked On West Virginia. Thanks for joining. Going to be brought to you by FanDuel. Today's episode brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can get $150 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. Make sure you head over to FanDuel.com to get started. And thanks for being an everyday listener around here on Locked On West Virginia, guys, where we talk about the West Virginia Mountaineers every single day. So let me switch this background really quick. I thought I already had. Bang. The coaching rankings, first of all, if you can't tell, the content isn't exactly flowing, like rivers of gold right now. There's not a lot to react to. But I found this, I think it was yesterday, and I put it in my back pocket for today. And I thought, because I wanted to give it a day to think about it too. And I went and did some research, and you're not going to convince me that RichRod is 12th on this list. For those of you who don't know, College Football Report, who has 150,000 followers over on X, released 23 hours ago the Big 12 head coaches in a ranking. And here's how it went. Number 1, Kyle Whittingham. Number 2, Matt Campbell. Number 3, Mike Gundy. Number 4, Kalani Sitake. Number 5, Sonny Dykes. Number 6, Chris Kleiman. Number 7, Kenny Dillingham. Number 8, Deion Sanders. Number 9, Joey McGuire. Number 10, Lance Leipold. Number 11, Dave Aranda. 12, RichRod. 13, Willie Fritz. 14, Scott Frost. 15, Scott Satterfield. And 16, Brent Brennan. They got one right. Brent Brennan is the worst coach in the conference for now. Outside of that, I have a whole lot of problems with this list. Not just where RichRod is, to be honest. What a crazy list. So I went and did a bunch of research on all this. I looked at winning percentages. I looked at where guys have won at. I went and looked at who they beat, those kind of things. How many conference championships do they have? How many playoff wins do they have? How many, national championships do they have? That kind of thing. And everything is not relative. Like, for instance, Fritz has a great record, but it's all at lower level. Whittingham at number 1 is fair. Campbell at number 2, not fair at all. It's not fair at all. It's a terrible choice. Mike Gundy at number 3 is he should be at least 2 or 1. Sitake at 4 is, again, no, not fair. He's had a couple good years, and then last year was a great year, but this is recency bias. Like, look at the totality of it, and I just think it's ridiculous, man. So let's go ahead and look at some of the research that I've got here. So we'll start with Brent Brennan. We'll go in alphabetical order and just talk about it like this. Brent Brennan has won 41 games in his career. He's 41-54. So that's pretty bad. That's 13 games under 500. 0 conference titles, 0 national championships. He's 2-2 in bowl games. And he was the Mountain West Coach of the Year in 2023. So that's why he got the Arizona job. Kenny Dillingham, he's 14-12 overall. I get it. They had a great year, and they had a great run to the playoff last year. They did. But that doesn't make him a better coach than some other guys on this list. Consistency matters. You can't base everything off one year. Now, if you're talking about a power ranking going into next year, sure, put him up there. They had a great season. But like if you're just talking about coach rankings and you're just ranking the guys, the coaches, no, 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 no. So, and to be to be fair here, they didn't clarify. I'm just freestyling off of this. Dave Miranda, who does have a Sugar Bowl under his belt, but he's 30-35. He got a conference championship, which is pretty good in the Big 12. No national championship appearances, obviously, and he's 2-1 in bowl games. One of those being a Sugar Bowl, the other the Armed Forces Bowl, and he lost the Texas Bowl, Big 12 Coach of the Year, also in 21. But that doesn't make him better than Rich Rodriguez. Let's just go there. What about Satterfield? Well, he's 88-62, and they've got Aranda above him. He's got 3 conference titles in the Sun Belt. 5-4 in bowl games. He won a Cure, a Camellia, Dollar General Bowl, New Orleans Bowl, Boca Raton Bowl, Myrtle Beach Bowl, Fenway Bowl, Frisco Bowl. He's 2-time Coach of the Year in the Sun Belt. So it's, everything's not equal, like I said. Deion Sanders is 40-17 overall. This is including his time at the lower level. 2 conference championships in the SWAC. 0 national championships, although he did have 2 appearances, which was good. But he's 2-1 in bowl games. The 2021 Celebration Bowl, the 2022 Celebration Bowl, and then they just lost the Alamo Bowl. Coach of the Year in the Big 12. Coach of the Year in the SWAC 2021. But does that make Deion Sanders a better coach than RichRod? No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. And I'll fight anybody who thinks that he is better. I'll fight you in the face. What about Willie Fritz? 211-97 record. That's an incredible record, by the way. It really is. I was like, whoa. But it's all at the MIAA, the Southland, the Sun Belt. He's got a national championship in the JUCO ranks. 7-4 in bowl games. He got to win a GoDaddy Bowl, famous Idaho Bowl. He's been to the Cotton Bowl, Armed Forces Bowl, Military Bowl. Coach of the Year, he's got 7 of those. That's pretty impressive. National Junior College Coach of the Year, the MIAA Coach of the Year, the Southland Coach of the Year, the AFC FCS Regional Coach of the Year, whatever that is. He was a Sun Belt Coach of the Year and the 2022 AAC Coach of the Year. And he's probably not done. He'll probably end up being good at Houston. I mean, that's a lot of sustained success. Even though it's at lower levels, that's one of the more impressive ones on the list with all he's done. Matt Campbell, 96-64, which is good. That's pretty good. His MAC championship from 2011 was vacated due to the NCAA sanctions. No natties, obviously. He's 5-5 in bowl games. Coach of the Year, he's got 5 of those. 2018 Big 12 Coach of the Year to 2020 and 2024. So that tilts the scales to him pretty good. But 3 Coach of the Years is good, but I feel like one of those, I didn't agree with. You got Lance Leipold here. Here's another guy who's done well at lower levels. 188-70. 7 conference championships in 07, 08, 09, 10, 11, 13, 14. So this is all in the WAIC. He's got 6 national championships at the low level. He's 12-2 in bowl games. That's incredible. 6 Stag Bowls. He won the 2022 Liberty Bowl, the 2023 Guaranteed Rate Bowl. They've done a lot. 7 times Coach of the Year. Nothing in the Big 12, all at the WIAC. Chris Kleiman, 119-41. Conference titles, he's got 6 of those, 2014, 15, 17, and 18. 2022 Big 12 championship. National championships, he's got 4 FCS national championships, which is very impressive. 7-4 in bowl games, 14, 15, 17, 18, 22, 23. Coach of the Year, 18 FCS Coach of the Year, 22 Big 12 Coach of the Year, and the 22 AFCA Regional Coach of the Year. What about Mike Gundy? 194-95. one conference championship in 2011, 13-7 in bowl games. I'll be also 2 Coach of the Year awards. He's got the Big 12 Coach of the Year, and then he's got the 2011 Eddie Robinson Coach of the Year award. So that's a good one. Sonny Dykes, 89-80. One conference championship, with the Big 12 in 2022. One national championship appearance with the Horned Frogs, which is really good. But he hadn't done anything since then. 5-5 in bowl games, though. Poinsettia Bowl, New Orleans Bowl, Armed Forces Bowl, those kind of things. 4-time Coach of the Year in the WAC, 2022 Big 12 Coach of the Year, 2022 AP Coach of the Year, and the 2022 Eddie Robinson Coach of the Year. So 2022 was a great year for Sonny Dykes, but that was an outlier. He hasn't been able to repeat that. Joey McGuire, 25-15, no conference titles, no national championship appearances. Bowl record is 3-0, which is pretty damn good. No Coach of the Year appearances. So you mean to tell me that Joey McGuire is ranked 9th on this list over Rich Rodriguez, Willie Fritz, even Dave Aranda, Lance Leipold? Get out of here. Insanity to me. Not going for it. We ain't going. What about Scott Frost? 35-38 record. A lot of that was at Nebraska where he really stumbled. His stuff at UCF was great, but it was at a lower level. 2017 AAC champions, where they had just an incredible run. Obviously, they claim a national championship internally at UCF for that run. They had no national championships, like I said, but they do claim in UCF a national championship via Colley Matrix after the Peach Bowl win, not recognized by the College Football Playoff, though. 1-1 in bowl games, 3-time Coach of the Year. AAC was one, AFCA Coach of the Year, and then an Eddie Robinson Coach of the Year. You got Whittingham's ridiculous record here, 167-85, 4 conference titles, 17-7 in bowl games. Incredible record from Kyle Whittingham. Probably one of the most underrated coaches of all time, honestly. 3-time Coach of the Year, 2008, 2000 AFCA Coach of the Year, and 2021 Pac-12 Coach of the Year. And then last but not least, RichRod, who is 190-129-2, which is pretty funny. He's coached long enough to have 2. 9-3 at Jack State last year, obviously. 7 conference championships, 03, 04, 05, 07, in 2024. He is 7-6 in bowl games, Continental Tire Bowl, Sugar Bowl, Gator Bowl, Fiesta Bowl, New Mexico Bowl. 6-time Coach of the Year, WVIAC Coach of the Year, Big East Coach of the Year, Big East Coach of the Year, Bobby Dodd National Coach of the Year. In 2024, he was the Conference USA Coach of the Year. So my point here is just overall, there ain't 12 coaches in this conference or in this league that's better than Rich Rodriguez. He went away for a long time. He had a rough run at Michigan. Everybody knows that. We also know there's a book called 3 and Out that I talk about a lot that details what happened there and how he only got 3 years to build that roster. And then obviously Brady Hoke took it over in year 4 and won with it, which was unfortunate. But they weren't going to let him do what he does there. He went to Arizona and had some success and then got in his own way. We know that. And then his first real shot at building a program in a while was at Jack State, and we know what happened there. We know what he did at West Virginia, making us we were the Oregon of those years, right? Like we were what Oregon has been, I believe, and or in that vein, anyways. And the 5, 6, 7, and 8 years especially were just incredible. On the verge in the national championship, 2 playoff wins, which were BCS bowl games back then. They would have been playoff wins today. I don't discount them at all for that. Some people say that BCS games are worth less than playoff games, but they're really apples to apples in a lot of ways. Like if the structure was the same, it's the same game, right? If they would have had a playoff, the BCS games back then would have been one of those games. West Virginia would have won those games with RichRod in the Sugar and the Fiesta. Even though Coach Stewart was on the sidelines for that Fiesta Bowl, I mean, it was Coach Rod's team, and he would have won the game too. Probably would have won it by more, maybe. So I just looking at that, it's a frustrating thing to look at. Let's go to break really quick, guys. On the other side, I'll finish up what I had to say about Coach Rod, and then we'll go over the offensive roster from yesterday. And what about these women, man? They're on fire right now. Stick around, guys. It's Locked On West Virginia. There it is. And this episode of Locked On West Virginia is brought to you by Return on You. Attention, West Virginia fans. The future of college sports is here, and it's transparent. Before the Return on You app, NIL negotiations often happened under the table, and fans didn't have a direct way or clear way to directly support the athletes they love. Now with Return on You, you get to be a part of the change and support school athletes in the most transparent way possible. Return on You, the NIL app, allows you to choose the player, decide how much, and you can receive exclusive content from the athletes you back. The best part is if your player transfers, you get your money back. It's a risk-free way to show your support. The Return on You app gives fans control, no more uncertainty. Now you can provide transparent, impactful songs or support and help shape the team and future of college sports with your contributions. Download the Return on You app from the App Store and start backing West Virginia athletes from the way they deserve, with transparency, trust, and real impact. This is the future of college sports. Join it now by downloading Return on You and supporting your favorite players. Segment 2, Crack Your Dew, have a drink with me. And let's talk some more West Virginia football. So my whole point of this is RichRod, is he the best coach in the league? No. Has he been relevant lately? Not exactly, no. But if I had to pick, if you're asking me to put a gun in my head and say, who do you want to coach your team? Not necessarily West Virginia, just overall as a coach. I can tell you this. There aren't 5 guys in this conference that are better than RichRod in big game situations and at building programs. Sure, I'll take Whittingham. I'll take Gundy. Probably would take Kleiman. And there's a couple others that are debatable, like Leipold. I'm a big fan of Leipold. Dillingham, what he's doing is amazing. Obviously, Dion's a wild card, but other than that, like you're not going to get me to believe that RichRod is worse than Dave Aranda, Joey McGuire, Kenny Gillingham hasn't proven enough yet. Sonny Dykes hasn't proven more than RichRod. Kalani Sitake hasn't proven more than RichRod. Scott Frost, Scott Satterfield, Brent Brennan. None of these guys have proven more than RichRod. Willie Fritz hasn't either, even though he's got a great record. I'm just talking about Power 4 stuff here. And so, I felt like, RichRod, and it's fine. He's good in this spot. He'll be fine. He'll be coach of the year in the next 2 or 3 years. I don't think it'll be this year. I know this year and if you're talking about this year, maybe 12 is a decent spot. I don't know. I think we'll finish closer to the 8th or 9th, but 12 probably good. I do think we'll get bowl eligible, and maybe they'll surprise us. RichRod keeps on praising the quarterback room. Pretty surprising to hear. I'm not surprising. It's good to hear. It's good to hear. I'm glad that he likes the quarterback room. It's a big part of this. So yesterday I was talking about the roster on offense. Like, who do we have that are Power 5 players? I just wanted to go over the defensive one really quick because, that article that I read you guys yesterday that said West Virginia basically has no Power 5 players, Power 4 players. Let's go over the defense really quick, and then we'll talk about the women. Jamori Robinson, Do we need to say any more on the defensive end side? Hammond Russell, Corey McIntyre, Nate Gabriel, all power four players. Eddie V, Sonny Redward, proven power four players. Brayton Siders, Obina Umwuka, those guys at the bandit spot haven't proven yet, but I think Siders is going to be good. Chase Wilson at will, yeah. Ben Cutter, yeah. Ashton Woods from North Carolina and Curtis Jones Jr. I think are all power four players. We'll see. We'll see. But I think Wilson's going to obviously stand out there. Reed Carrico, no doubt about him at the Mike spot for now. Hasty, Beiser, like they've got guys that have played a lot of snaps there. Michael Coach Jr. obviously going to be a power four player. Jason Chambers, Jacoby Spells has power four experience. Like it's just that's ridiculous to even have to defend. Devontae Golden Nelson, Kikora Tarnu's got snaps at power four. And then we got Fred Perry, who was one of the most sought after. Jordan Scruggs, one of the most sought after. Zay Jennings could make the biggest impact. Jordan Walker, William Davis, Jacob Boyce, Jason Cross, and Sammy Etienne. I don't know. I know Jordan Walker is probably going to be good. He hasn't proven it yet, but I'm going to go ahead and say he's probably good to go. Justin Harrington started at Oklahoma, so we don't really have to go any further than that. Aiden Tagaloa Nelson, obviously another name that he's played basketball and football for, has done it pretty well. Let's talk about these women, man. What a game yesterday from JJ Quinterly. I mean, just incredible. What a run she's had as they dominated a pretty good Utah team, 75-46. One of the things about this team that is going to make them difficult to deal with in March is especially when you get JJ playing like she did yesterday, 38 points, and she wasn't looking to distribute. She had 1 assist, 1 rebound, in only 29 minutes at that. What an efficient game from her. On how many shots did she have? Let's see. Let's see if I can see it. Nope, not showing me there. Let's see. Go back one here. All right, so let's go to the stats. Nope, not showing me there either. Okay, well, anyway, let's see if I can click on her specific. Nope, it just takes me there again. But we know she's having a great year, 20 points per game, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, shooting 44% from the field. What a game from her yesterday in a career. Nobody else scored in double figures. They had some pretty good, from everybody. I mean, Kaya Watson had 8 points. Jordan Harrison had 6. Sydney Woodley had 9. Sydney Shaw had 7. Blackston only had 2 points, which, she usually does way better. Jordan Thomas, Tirza Moore, Celia Riviere, and Destiny Agubata had 3 points. And 1 minute at that. I would love to see Destiny get more playing time. I really think she's going to make a big impact next year. Watch that name, Destiny Agubata. I think she'll be one of the stars coming through. But this team, 22-6, probably right there in that. I don't know what you would seed them at. Probably a top 7 seed anyway at this point in time. Top 6, maybe they'll get a 5 seed. But man, they're so fun to watch, and I'm so proud of them. Can't wait to see what they continue to do the rest of the year. And I think they're going to be a tough out in March, just like they almost beat Iowa last year. I think they got a shot to be really good this year. Go to break, guys. We'll be right back. This is Locked On West Virginia. And this episode of Locked On West Virginia is going to be brought to you by none other than Fabric, which I got to bring up here. Let's see. All right, there it is. None other than Fabric. Life moves fast, especially when you have a family. One day you're watching your kids take their first steps, and before you know it, they're off to college. That's why securing their future is so important. Fabric by Gerber Life makes it easier to get term life insurance that fits your family's needs. With Fabric, you can apply for term life insurance online right before your couch, right there on your couch. You can be covered in under 10 minutes, and in many cases, no health cam is no health exam is required. You get peace of mind as a parent. It's affordable coverage. And look, Fabric also offers free digital wills and accesses investor accounts to help you plan for your children's future. Join the thousands of parents who trust Fabric to help protect their families. Apply today in just minutes at meetfabric.com/lockedoncollege. That's meetfabric.com/lockedoncollege. Policies issued by Western Southern Life Insurance Company. Not available in certain states, but prices are subject to underwriting and health questions. Do have the first mention, guys. Make sure you check them out over at Fabric by Gerber Life. All right, guys. Thank you guys for joining me on this episode, and this has been fun. I gotta be honest. It's these lists, man, have had me mad the last couple of days. Trying to defend our team from the bowels of my home. I get it. I have had people in the comments telling me yesterday that you know, West Virginia is going to be bad. I'm overrating them, and just by saying that, like, hey, we have Power Four players on our roster, and everybody's like, "You're a homer. You're a homer. They suck. They're not going anywhere. You're overrating them. They're not going to win more than 5 games." Well, I never said any of that except the more than 5 games part, right? Like, what did I say? I said we have Power Four players on our roster. I mean, that's not really overrating our team, is it? That's like defending the very small. Like, that's a crazy accusation, man. Crazy. So, he was 16 to 21 from the field. That's wild. What a crazy game. Yeah, I don't know how somebody can look at that list and see he's 12th on the career. There's no way you can say that. It's not about right. Like, it's about right if you're talking about a power ranking going into this year. Sure. I mean, he only won a conference championship last year. How many guys did that from a team that was an FCS team the year before, 2 years before, whatever it was? So, no, I don't think it's fair. Yes, it was at the group of 5 level, but I mean, to look at this list and say that RichRod shouldn't be in that top 5 or 6 guys all time between all these is ridiculous to me. And we'll just agree to disagree on it. Like, I can give you Mike Gundy and Kyle Whittingham. Like I said, even Kleiman, what he did in North Dakota State's very impressive. Leipold is another one that's done major things at Kansas that you can't just he's got to be a great coach, right? But like, RichRod has got 2 playoff wins under his belt. What would be playoff wins today? BCS games are playoff games. They just didn't structure it that way, like I said earlier. There wasn't nothing else to play for after that, unfortunately, because we didn't have it set up that way. But it would have been that way. So, I don't know. I feel like those matter. The teams, and we were big underdogs in those games. RichRod really had to outcoach a team like Georgia, especially. They were a lot better than us in a lot of positions, and we still beat them. Thanks for joining, guys. I appreciate you for watching. Don't forget to like the video before you leave. If you're still here, certainly you like the video. Hit that subscribe button if you're new around here, and I'll see you guys on the next one. It's going to be fine. I think we're going to be good. RichRod had a press conference today. He didn't say a lot. He keeps on praising the quarterbacks, like I said. We'll see how far it goes. I got a couple guys on the horn to bring on the show to interview. We'll see who ends up coming. It's kind of hard right now to get guys because they're practicing so hard. But I'm going to try to get you some interviews here in the next couple of weeks. Stick around for that too, guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for making Locked On West Virginia your first listen and for being part of the Locked On Podcast Network, where we talk about your team, the Mountaineers, every single day. Obviously, Locked On College Basketball is where you should go next from here. Make them your second listen. Andy Patton and Isaac Shea don't want you to wait for March. Be the most informed college basketball fan now. Find Locked On College Basketball on YouTube or wherever you listen to your podcast. And I'll see you on the next one, guys. Have a great one. And I'm out of here.